friends, my name is Shayla and today I am here to film my January TBR for you. My TBR is kind of wild for January. I know I said I was going to slow down my reading, friends, but there's a lot that I'm involved in. There's a lot of these that I think will be fairly quick reads and just ones that I am genuinely excited for. So you'll have to forgive me for January. I promise the upcoming months should be a little bit better. So let's go ahead and dive right in here. The first thing I'm going to mention is the Tell It Again book club pick for the month of January, and that is A Heart So Fierce and Broken by Bridget Kemmerer. This is the second book in the A Curse So Dark and Lonely series. I'm not sure what she's calling it, but this is book 2. This is Gray's story. After reading A Curse So Dark and Lonely last year, April and I were so excited about Gray's story that we knew it had to be our first read of 2020. So that's what we're gonna do. I know this is a new release. It comes out January 7th, so it's not even out yet. But go put the holds on at the library or pre-order it or do whatever you need to do because we are so excited for our January pick. From there, what I'm going to do is talk about the arcs that I'm excited for that are releasing in January that I have ARC copies of. I have a lot of NetGalley arcs for January, so we're going to talk about those real quick. The appropriate page here. There we go. So the first one is The Little Bookshop on the CN. This one comes out on January 7th. The next is Lady Hotspur, also out on January 7th. The next one is The Vanished Birds, out on January 14th. Next is The Will and the Wilds, out on January 21st. Then Cowboy Courage, also out on January 21st. Mermaid Inn, that is out on January 28th. And Forever Strong, also out January 28th. So those are the arcs that I am most excited for in January that I have copies of. So we will definitely be getting to those as quickly as possible in the month of January. But there are some other things going on in January, so let's get to those. So first things first, we have Smut-a-thon that is happening, I believe it's January 4th through the 10th. It starts this upcoming Saturday and goes through the following week, if I remember everything correctly. It might start on to the 3rd, I'm not 100% sure, but the correct dates will be down below. So I have a few physicals, and then some of the arcs will also work for Smut-a-thon, and then I do have Kindle Unlimited as well, so I might pick one or two from there to read. So let's talk about the physical ones that I'm going to read first. So we have Rocky Mountain Heat by Lori Wilde. This was an arc sent to me by Forever that I have not gotten to yet. This just looks like small town romance, gonna be smutty. I'm excited. Next we have Forever and a Duke by Grace Burrows. This is another one that was an arc from Forever that I have not gotten to yet. This one's historical. Grace Burrows tends to get relatively smutty, so we'll see. And then we have Ravenous by Helen Hart. I got sucked into this Steel Brothers saga in 2019. Probably should have made one of my lists this year, but they're not top fiction, but it was one of my obsessions this year. And I have not gotten to this installment in the series yet, and I believe another installment is coming out in January, so I might sneak that in as well. But these are compulsorily readable. I usually finish them in one sitting, so that's why it's on this list. Then we have Would Like to Meet. This might be more of a traditional romance instead of a smutty one, so let me know in the comments down below if you know for sure. But this just sounds like a cute office almost kind of romance, I think. I don't remember for 100% sure. But I'm excited. I have friends who have read it that absolutely adored it, and I just really like the idea of it. And then last but not least, for the physical ones that I know I'm reading, is Undercover Bromance by Alyssa K. Adams. The first book in this series, the Bromance Book Club, was one of my favorite reads of 2019. You'll see that list coming soon. And this one is out in March. So I will be reading it a little bit early, but I can't wait. I just can't wait. You guys will just have to deal with the fact that I'm reading it early, and I'll let you know for sure my honest thoughts when I get to it. All right, from there, let's get to other things that I know that I want to read. So first up, let's do the book I know I want to reread in January, and that is Roseblood by A.G. Howard. I plan on rereading at least one book from my collection each month this year. I have structure for the rest of the year, except 1 month. And so this is one of those, and then I'll have one other that'll just fit in somewhere. So I'm not really drawing out of anything for those, like the manga series. And this is a Phantom of the Opera retelling that I loved and adored as I read it, and I feel like I want to revisit it to make sure that I really loved it as much as I thought I did on a first read, can just fully get to my thoughts around this particular title. Next we have The Path of Daggers by Robert Jordan. This is book 8 in the Wheel of Time series. I've been meaning to get to this for a couple of months, so I am prioritizing it in January. I'll probably just read a couple chapters out of this a day until I get it done. That seems to work really well for me with this series, while I read other things as well. So I will have a lot more time now that the salon's all closed and everything. So I really want to get to this sooner rather than later. Then we have The Never Tilting World by Rin Pecco. This is one that I meant to get to in December of 2019 and I was not able to, but I really want to get to this as soon as possible. This is a fantasy that I know has a lot of diversity and a lot of really great representation from all my friends that have read it. And I can't remember specifics on the representation at the moment, so I don't want to misquote which kind of representation it is. I believe it's Filipino at least. But the author I know is Filipino, so there's that. But I am excited to read this. I like to go into my fantasies relatively blind. I have a few people that I know and trust who have read this and really enjoyed it. So I'm going in on their recommendations and hoping that it works out for me. Next we have Dragon Watch, Master of the Phantom Isle by Brandon Mull. This is one that I was hoping to get to before the end of the year, but I talked to Connor and he wanted to get to it in January. So we're hopefully going to buddy read this in January. I need to touch base with him and solidify all of that, of course. But yes, I am hoping to get to this in January. Next, we have a nonfiction that I'm really hoping to get to, and it's Don't Keep Your Day Job, How to Turn Your Passion into Your Career by Kathy Heller. I have been bad about reading nonfictions and classics a lot in 2019, so I really wanted to get to some more in 2020, and this one is one that speaks to me at my place in life right now, because I am doing hair still, but only part-time, and so I want to find something else to fill my time with for the time being. And so I want to channel that into this channel, obviously, but I want to do it in a creative and positive way. So I thought this book might be very helpful in me doing that. I should mention what I'm currently reading, shouldn't I? And that is Upon the Flight of the Queen by Howard Andrew Jones. St. Martin's kindly sent me an early copy, and I just feel bad because I haven't gotten to it yet. But I have gotten into it a little bit, and I'm loving what I'm reading so far. So I definitely promise to give you guys all of my thorough thoughts as soon as I finish. But I really loved the first one, For the Killing of Kings. That was one of the reads that stood out in 2019. It didn't quite make my favorites list, but it was just shy. So I do have a dedicated review to that, so I'll leave that linked for you. But yes, definitely check this one out. And I am going to throw in one graphic novel that I've been meaning to get to for months, and it keeps hiding on my TBR shelf, so I'm putting it on this video, and that is Fence Volume 3. I love the boys on this fencing team. Well, they're trying out for the fencing team, I should say. But I really enjoy the story and the art, and I can't believe I haven't read Volume 3 yet. So that's high on my priority list. It might be one of the first things that I read and complete in January. I'm not 100% sure. But it will happen in January. All right, and then last but not least, I do have a jar here. My goal is to reread one manga series a month for 2020 because I have a lot of amazing series on my shelf that I would love to revisit. So that's what's in this jar. So I'm gonna kind of stir things up a little bit here, and then I'm gonna pick one. You are the winner for the month of January. Hopefully it's a short one because I'm reading a ton of other stuff too. And it's Everyone's Getting Married. I can do this one. This one's 9 volumes, so I can easily do that, as well as read other things that I want to read in January. So I will be rereading Everyone's Getting Married, which is a josei series featuring 2 adults. One has always wanted to get married and one wants nothing to do with marriage. And they start a romantic relationship together. It was really interesting. It was a series that stood out to me in 2019, but I think it's one that I need to revisit and try again and see how I really feel about it. Because there's some problems in the series. So I want to see if I see the same problems or see them worse, see them less. I don't know. But anyways, that's what I plan on reading in the month of January, as well as whatever other things I feel like throwing in there. I know that's wild, and I know it's a lot. It's a little bit lofty for myself, but I'm going to do my best with it. So thank you guys so much for checking out this video. Let me know in the comments down below what you plan on reading in the month of January. Oh, I totally forgot. I'm reading, I'm not going to go grab it. I'm reading An Enchantment of Raisins with Lindsay over at Lindsay Tutt. And there's a good chance we'll buddy read multiple things throughout the month. We tend to do that. So that's also in there. Yes, January is going to be wild, but it's going to be fun. Thank you guys for watching. If you're new here, hi, welcome. My name is Shay. I would love it if you would subscribe and click the little bell so you know when I post new videos. And as you guys know, a like and a comment makes my day. This is YouTube and you know what to do. Bye, guys.